Hey guys, we're back. This is the beginning of series number, part 3 of our series of Ask the Hubby. So, I'll go right into the first question. Did you ever worry that I might lose weight and want to leave you for someone else?
Ooh, that's cutting to the chase. That's a
That's a tough one.
that's a heavy question.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably something that's in the back of your mind because you start to feel like where everything's normal. It's like this, and so I don't know. It probably would. When you start thinking about that, you start thinking, doubtful things about yourself. So you end up saying, "Well, I'm going to push that to the back of my mind and try not to think about it." So
Yeah.
that's why it's a difficult question.
But you did.
To answer, I mean, you start to go through, well, what would happen?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, that's a tough one to answer, really, because you don't want to think about that kind of thing. Because probably some people might start thinking, well, I need to improve myself then, because what if you start to think, well, I can do better than him, or I can do better than her, if that's the case, and you start to
Worry about
to
that.
think that kind of stuff. But we had some talks about that early on, because it did seem that there were a couple of cases where someone who was
people that I watched on YouTube.
A few months out, there was a lot of separations and maybe even divorces, and then I started to think, is that's just the
natural progression,
next step that follows?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Everybody has doubts, but it shows you that a marriage is something. The partnership is something that you need to continuously work on.
Yeah.
And
whether you have weight loss surgery or not.
Right. So
Well,
it's not like separation or divorce is confined to weight loss community.
Right.
So
well, I have to say, I was concerned that I was, so much of our marriage, I wasn't necessarily totally focused on me. And so making that shift to focus on me, I was concerned that you were not going to be happy with that. All she cares about is herself now. And what does that mean for me? And that you would feel neglected and stuff. So that's why I was happy when we joined the new gym that we had something that we could do together. And it was I don't know, it wasn't just my thing anymore. It was something that we were doing as a couple. It was important to both of us, not just me. So that made me feel better about it. And some husbands would not do that, would not support that way. So I'm appreciative that we've found something that we can do together. Even though we're not running next to each other or anything, it's still the activity of, we're going to go to the gym tonight? Yeah, and you're working as a team to make it happen.
Even if we don't go on the same day, you still ask, what did you do? And you're concerned about, if you made an improvement, or you may have done 5 minutes extra on that machine or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you try and think of it as we're all trying to improve ourselves in every department over our life. To me,
Right.
I think you're always striving to improve and learn new things. And if one person can improve themselves, hopefully that's something better they bring and make the whole relationship stronger.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're just doing an improvement just for you. If that makes you happier, it's going to make you happier in your home life as well.
Yeah.
So, theoretically, it would work that way, but it's just
it doesn't always.
Sometimes you get that thing, if probably something is that you may get more attention. People looking and
right,
which
it could be a temptation, but not if you got a solid. Well, I hate to say, I don't want to offend anybody, but I think if you got a solid marriage and you're in it together, whether you got new people looking at you or not, it's not going to matter. I would appreciate compliments from someone else, but it's not going to draw me away. So.
Right. In one of the other videos, I kind of talked about the guys I work with. I don't want to keep going back to them, But you know, we've had conversations at work, and you know, they might talk about, you see a lady who's dressed nice, and someone will say, well, people want to dress nice, not just ladies, but men, you want to dress nice. And then if someone says, well, you know, the person looks nice, or their appearance is nice, they've dressed in a way that you know makes them
Attractive.
more attractive. It's not, I mean, to attract the opposite sex. I mean,
Yeah.
if they're going to feel good about themselves and they want to have that expressed outwardly, then you know you should take it as a compliment.
Right.
So you know, maybe if you think about that, you know, if you got, you know, compliments of someone, oh, you look nice, or you know, a guy might whistle at you or something like that, you know, I should take it as a compliment.
Right.
You know, I shouldn't get offended and want
Right.
to beat somebody up, because
You say, like, yes,
it
that's
should
right.
be a
She
compliment,
looks good.
right?
Yeah,
And it doesn't. That's not something that you have done to.
to provoke.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Okay. We'll be
But-
back with. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's still a dicey situation, but that's the best I can come up with on it.
All right. All right. We'll be back with another question. Okay, we're back. Next question. How do you feel about the time I spend on YouTube and Facebook giving and getting support? Because I know I spend a lot of time.
Right, that's a tricky one too. You come up with some good questions. It does seem like a lot of time, and you know, I've read a lot about that. It seems like society nowadays, we're all stuck. We're
phones,
looking in our phones and everything, and you hear a lot of stories, and our kids have said it too. You know, we had a Daisy, the Girl Scouts. Our daughter had a father-daughter dance, and I think my daughter said she looked up, and one of the dancers, all the dads were looking on their phones. So that's that's society
now,
nowadays.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where sometimes I wonder, what are you doing? You know, I try and have movie night for the family, and I look over and looking at stuff or watching videos and that, but that's something that goes with it. You know, you've managed to, you know, be supportive to a lot of people out there, and you know, I'm not going to be selfish and say I want you to stop doing this, because that's not right. And you know, maybe it's helped you understand. I used to, you know, and I probably still do, play some computer games, or I'm watching sport or doing something like that, and I wasn't always focused on what's going on around me in the house too. So if you're sitting there and you're listening to a video, you know, you can, it's easy. You can always take the earphones out, or you press pause, and if there's an emergency. So it's the same as giving you time to go to the gym and do other things like that too. That's a part of the parcel, is, you know, keeping up with everybody as much as you can, and you know, sending message back. I know it's important to keep that support out there, and if somebody asks a question and they're going through a rough time, and they get an actual response from someone that makes you feel good, and if, you know, that's worth it to get that. So,
and I try not to. I mean, I know I'm on my phone a lot looking at stuff, but I try to be aware that if I'm needed in the house, that I'm not avoiding like contact with the rest of the family just so I can listen to a video. You know, there's a lot of times when I like to participate more at a certain time, but like things like during bath time with the kids and bedtime, I know that time's out. Like I'm not going to be on YouTube or Facebook during those times, but I am, whenever I do have extra time, that is what I do. I say that's my hobby now, really, you know. So, is that it?
yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll be back. Hey guys, we're back. Next question. Do you worry that I will gain back my weight? Because I have lost weight in the past. Before we had our son, I think I had lost about 80 pounds, and I didn't get down as low as I am now. At that time, I think I was in like the 290s, and I got down to 212. So, and of course, I gained it back, and I swore I wouldn't gain it all back, and I didn't. I had surgery at 270, in the 270s. So, I was like 20 pounds shy of being back to that old weight. So, I mean, you've seen me highs and lows.
Yeah.
So, what do you?
The more I learned about the surgery and the maintenance that people put into it, that's not something that I'm concerned about. Maybe early on it was to deal with the initial discussion about having the surgery was, well, is this really going to keep it off or
Long
not?
term.
But once I had become more educated on this surgery and what goes into
Yeah.
the maintenance and that afterward, I don't think that's a concern.
I mean, it could happen.
Well, yeah,
But,
it doesn't mean it's impossible, but
excuse me.
as long as you follow all of the right things to do.
Right. Which I
And
think I'm pretty committed to.
Yeah, so it's
to
all
do it.
about that. If you
Yeah.
focused on following the rules and making sure you could gain some back, and that's something that we talk about too. Is if you said, oh, if I gain 10 pounds, does that mean? And that's probably to you,
Right, it's scary.
It's scary, but the surgery, in my eyes, it allows you to get to where what you say most other people are, and just because you see people out there who are
Sorry,
who are thinner, it doesn't mean they're not having the same concerns about their weight.
Right.
Maybe they are. You just don't see it.
Right now, it's like maybe I'm just like regular people now, but I don't know what regular means because I've never been like a normal size for an extended period of time. So I think I'm just coming to realize that yeah, probably most people in the world have to watch what they eat and their fitness, or they'll gain weight. But
Well, and they don't stick at the same weight. They can fluctuate.
When you see the scale going up and down a couple of pounds, it could freak you out. I mean, I know it freaks me out if I'm up a few pounds for no apparent reason, or if I did eat something that was a little bit off and I go up, it's like, is this the beginning of the end? And so I think the longer though I'm in maintenance, the more I'll become used to that and not get so freaked out about it. I mean, I can see a difference from 4 months ago to now that I'm more comfortable.
Yep,
So
definitely.
okay, cool, thank you.
Okay.
We'll be back. Okay, guys, unless we get more questions in, I think this is going to be our last question of the series. So, plastic surgery. How do you feel about me planning on getting a tummy tuck in November?
When you first mentioned that it was after the surgery, then you said that, and I was kind of thinking, wait, another surgery? And he said, well, yeah, it's not, you got that loose skin that you want to get rid of,
Yeah.
and so it's
Well, and really, I had talked about it when I lost weight the last time. It was like, if I can maintain keeping some weight off, I want to have a tummy tuck, because my stomach had problems back then. It was not something new. But then I didn't keep the weight off, so, what was the point at that time? So,
But early on, that was so far off in the
Yeah.
future. You say, oh, it's going to be a year or whatever before you start thinking about that. But now, as it starts to get closer, that's more concern again with the
surgery.
another surgery, and we've watched
Yeah.
videos and things like that with possibilities of
Infection,
infections
yeah.
and things like that. So
It is concerning.
That worries me. But well, I'm going to be supportive and try and see it through to the end, because it kind of gives you the feeling that there's the closure to it,
Yeah.
because you still have that. And I know from watching the documentary, you feel like you've done all this work and you still have the loose skin. That reminder is still there. And
You mean the one with Dr. Katzen? The one with Sarah will be
Yes.
skinny and
Yeah.
the real skinny? Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the reality
that.
of it, yeah.
the skin's still there. You still feel like it's part of you, and it's
Well,
still.
And it contributes to that body dysmorphia, because really when you lose the weight, you don't go into looking like a Barbie doll, you basically look like a smaller version of what you looked like before. So if you had an apron stomach before from the weight, the extra fat on your body, you're gonna still have that apron stomach. It's just gonna be deflated. So even no matter how much exercise you do and eating right and getting smaller, so then when you see that apron belly, even if you're in like I'm in a size 10 or a size 8 dress, in your mind you know that you're a smaller size, but your shape is still for the most part the same. So then you kind of still see that fat girl when you're looking in the mirror. And so my hope is that having that tummy tuck will make me stop focusing on the flabby loose skin on my stomach and appreciate the size that I actually am now. That that's what I hope. It's something I've been unhappy with for a very, very, very long time. So
Right. So for me, I understand that that need and that want.
yeah,
It's just again the fear of another surgery, and
yeah, and I got that fear too. So I think that's normal. All right, guys, I think that's the last of our series. I appreciate y'all watching and commenting. And if y'all do have any other questions, or if you have a spouse or partner that has a question, let us know and we can make another follow-up, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting me have a chance to say some things.
Thanks
and,
for participating and being on
well,
camera.
Thank you, and good luck, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.